Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. How you think this is going to fly from Alina Habba. Take a listen.
So finally, the Supreme Court is taking it up on January 6th case and going to look at it really hard and say, look, we have no business attacking somebody who is within his scope of presidency, who has come in, was doing his job, was protecting the elections, was doing the things that a president should do. Instead, they call him an insurrectionist because they can't beat him in the polls.
Okay, so he was protecting the election, much like the Grinch was fixing the light on the tree.
President's supposed to do, like fomenting an insurrection and perpetrating a fraud on different states and putting Mike Pence to, essentially throwing him to the crowds like the Romans if they don't, if he doesn't do the change the law and violate the Constitution. I mean, that's really not gonna fly. But the legal little congruence that I was talking about is, I think the court is going. We have a really weird situation, Steph, where the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court are kind of racing to some sort of finish line. But the issue, I think, will be: is this part of Donald Trump's official duties, trying to overturn an election, foment a coup? I don't think Alina Habba will be testimony will be part of the record here.
Yeah. Let's talk Giuliani. You said the verdict against Giuliani was enormous, but not capricious. The judge carefully allocated the $148 million toward compensation, pain and suffering, and punitive damages. It will be harder for him to say they just mindlessly punished him. You were asked, will it hold up on appeal, or will a court reduce, and will they ever be able to collect anything close to us? So it's Tuesday, so Rudy Giuliani has been sued again. But let's talk about the first. I mean, this is kind of extraordinary. It's kind of the E. Jean Carroll template, isn't it? It's like they won't stop doing it, and so obviously Ruby and Shea sued again to get him to shut up, right? I mean.
Yeah, so sort of, right. In E. Jean Carroll case, he did say it again conveniently after he was out of office. Thank you very much. Now we don't have to worry about immunity. The case that's going to trial next month, Steph, is actually the very first one where he was already president. Same here. They found, well, same here in a sense. The court found that liability is already established, and we're just talking about damages. That second question I'll get to in a second is going to be the bigger one practically. But the idea, when you see a verdict that is 3 times what plaintiffs asked for, the first thing you think of is a court of appeals may well reduce it. But 2 factors here. One, as I say, they didn't just throw a figure up. They asked for the expert assessment, and they had a rational amount that they need to be compensated. The rest was pain and suffering and punitives. That's one. And 2, he put in literally nothing. So there was, nothing they could have had as a counterweight. His only evidence was what she had said in her papers he had said. That's literally all they had. Yeah. So it's a very big verdict, and they still might reduce it, but it doesn't matter because the prospects of their being able to collect a half of it, a third of it, a tenth of it, seem like, they're very possibly. We're talking blood from a stone. We don't. He refuses
what
steadfastly.
Happens if he doesn't
maybe
stop?
He's got millions socked away in the Cayman Islands, or maybe he doesn't have 2 dimes to rub together. But what they sued for, it's not a separate suit. They said, Judge, you would normally wait 30 days. Let's start executing now so he doesn't pull shenanigans. Will you let us start to collect on this now? And would you please tell him, by the way, to stop defaming us? Yeah. So it's not exactly a separate lawsuit, but it's leveraging the verdict they've already gotten. It'll be really interesting if the judge says, yeah, have at him. Go find out the assets, bring that up and start to collect as you would down the line, because they're worried he's going to try to get rid of it, give it to other creditors, etc. I mean, he's an ultimate deadbeat at this point.
Yeah. Well, and also, obviously, they're saying one of the things the parties could do is, if he continues, is to seek a contempt order. Once they've got that injunction demanding he stop, ordering to stop. If he fails to do so, if he's held in contempt, he could be jailed. I mean, at this point, it just seems like everything Trump and the Giulianis of the world do is to like daring judges to put them in jail so that they can fundraise more off that and, play victim even more. What do you do if he doesn't stop?
That's true for Trump. I don't know if it's true for Giuliani. He
Yeah.
just seems, complete at the end of the line. But I just want to, legally speaking, that's why you called me.
Yeah.
The
No,
game
actually, I have
here-
a car repair. Okay.
Exactly. I think it's the points on the left. But anyway, what they're trying to do now, at some point this case is over, the judge gives it up, and they want to harness her still having jurisdiction to do these things like executing, etc. So they wanted that's what they're trying to take advantage of. The judge from the defamation case can still order things, and they don't want to be just out in the open like other creditors saying, trying to get at his money.
Yeah. One last one just on the Supreme Court on it. Particularly Clarence Thomas, who's in the news quite a bit. But should the Supreme Court decide to listen to Jack Smith's request to hear arguments on Trump's contention he's protected by presidential immunity, Clarence Thomas may play a key part, but not in the ways the former president might prefer. Your friend and mine, Joyce Vance, said there's a very legitimate possibility the far-right jurist may recuse himself based on recent history in a similar case. That, in turn, could be obviously a setback for Trump. She said in addition to the well-known support his wife Ginny lent to pushing the big lie, Thomas' former law clerk, John Eastman, is Trump's co-defendant in Georgia and an unindicted co-conspirator in the case, leaving aside the situation with his wife, which would be sufficient to cause any reasonably prudent jurist to sit the case out. Thomas recently recused in another matter involving John Eastman. Their relationship was too close for even Clarence Thomas to ignore. What do you think?
I think he's not going to recuse.
I was just going to say, no, because
remember,
of course
it's all
no laws
up
apply to him.
They've done these things, and Joyce gives a very good argument for
Yeah.
why he may be recused. I think he's not going to recuse.
Yeah, I forgot about it, on top of his wife, the Eastman thing, but oh God, the corruption is like whatever. All right, Carrie, I do have a problem with my engine that I need to talk to you about, but thank you for the legal.
Let's do it. Let's do it at the commercial break.
Okay.
Very, very good rates today only.
That's fantastic. We'll send you your jingle so you have a new ringtone for your phone.
Yeah, we'll send it
okay?
to you.
All right.
Excellent. Okay.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.